Do you have a business blunder? Well, all of us do. If you've been in business for any length of time, you're going to make mistakes and they're going to cost you. Well, I want to share with you an early lesson in life that I learned. I was a senior in 1977 at Lehigh University in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, and I was ready to come out into the world and get my job. And one of the job interviews that I was really pushing for was at Bethlehem Steel Corporation, where I could be involved in their sales loop program. They called it their MBA of Steel. And I went through a series of interviews over a period of months, and the final set of interviews was one day long, where I would meet with about 8 or 10 different executives. At the end of the day, I would meet with the senior vice president of sales for all of Bethlehem Steel. So this was it was almost like a foregone conclusion. All I could do was maybe blow this thing. Well, I went through my whole set of interviews that day. I had a great round. At the end of the day, I met with Mr. Moen, and we talked, and we seemed to really jive nicely and everything, and it was great. So I finished that, call up my girlfriend, I say, look, I got my tie and coat on. I want to take you out to dinner at a really nice restaurant. And so we go out to this nice restaurant, and we're sitting there, and she said to me, how'd the interview go? And I started to explain to her how I thought I really did well, but how in many ways it was interesting because these men that I was meeting, their lives in Bethlehem Steel were so entwined that it was almost like they had lost their identity. And I said at some level it's almost sort of sad to see what's going on with some of these men, that their lives are so wrapped up in their work. And no sooner had I said that than I looked to my right, and literally right where this bookcase would be was the back of a chair, and seated in that chair was Mr. Moen, the guy that I had just come out of my last interview with. And I went, oh my gosh. Oh, hi, Mr. Moen, because he turned and looked at me when he heard me say, oh my gosh. And he said, hi, Kevin. Good to see you. Fancy meeting you here. At that moment, I knew I had lost the job. Any chances I had, about 3 days later, I got the rejection letter signed by Mr. Moen. So, the lesson for this is be careful what you discuss in public. It's true in business, it's true in life. You really want to keep your lips closed, because you can sometimes say things in public that other people are going to pick up, whether you know who they are or not. So I, in essence, sunk what could have been a career for me with Bethlehem Steel. And I think they're out of business now anyway, so it's probably a blessing in the long run. But let me just say, I'd love for you to share your business blunders and tell me what the lessons are you learned. Tell me what it cost you, and we'll share it here on the blog so that other people can do it. So have fun, send in videos, or just post your story, and we'll get them up there. So this is Kevin McCarthy with today's On Purpose Business Minute, encouraging you to be on purpose and in public.